Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Military Chessboard channel. Russia's winter offensive is nearing its end, and they've failed to achieve any significant victories on the battlefield. Amidst a turbulent strategic landscape, the Russian military, despite having controlled Mariupol since last year, has just faced a severe blow. Recently, Ukraine delivered a decisive strike by destroying a strategic bridge north of Mariupol, severing Russia's vital resource transportation lifeline. The situation doesn't end there, though. Ukraine has also pushed Russian forces out of a key town, putting an end to their domination ambitions in the region. Join us as we delve into these intriguing developments right now. Firstly, we have good news for Ukraine from the eastern front lines. In the village of Novomikhailivka, Ukraine has launched a counterattack against Russian positions, and it's been quite successful. Let's take a closer look at the map, and since yesterday, we've made quite significant progress. The Russians were pushed back by about 2 kilometers, which is truly remarkable. Previously, Russia had used many missiles to target this small town because they needed to control Novomikhailivka to advance further. They do not want to leave the Ukrainian army behind their front lines, as Ukraine could attack Russia from there at any time. The main goal of the Russian army is to continue advancing towards Kurakove and further westward. However, I don't think they'll be able to do this successfully. There's also another update confirming the situation from the Telegram channel Majakovsk73 regarding the Donetsk front. Ukraine has shown unwavering determination in pushing Russian forces out of the strategic southern area of Novomikhailivka. This action opens up new expectations, turning this land into an uncertain area, a gray zone truly full of unpredictability. While the Russian army continues to bomb some small towns, the sight of their military vehicles burning fiercely seems to be proof of their ongoing failures. This means that they intended to advance southward but failed as usual. It's fortunate that the Ukrainian army is still able to regain its territory even in the current situation when we're lacking some resources. And in a dramatic turn on the strategic chessboard, it seems Ukraine has made a decisive move by destroying a bridge at a key point north of Mariupol, which is a location where Russia was endeavoring to rebuild. This bridge, which spans the Kalmius River, links an important railway branch from Mariupol to Taganrog and Rostov-on-Don in Russia. This is a significant blow to Russia's future ability to transport resources to and from southern Ukraine. Needless to say, if the construction were to be completed, it would significantly enhance Russia's logistical capabilities in southern Ukraine. This would also reduce reliance on the Crimean Bridge. However, Russia conducted military exercise on its own territory and somehow still lost the bridge. So far, no videos or images have been shared regarding this. Ukraine has only shared images showing some missile launchers during the attack, but they report that the bridge has been destroyed. Therefore, it'd be better if we could get clear images, and we'll continue to update if there's any new information, so you can see the extent of the damage or destruction. Overall, this is an excellent strike by Ukraine, causing confusion and demoralizing among Russian soldiers. Interestingly, yesterday Russia sent a new large landing ship, the Pyotr Morganov, which is now stationed in Sevastopol, previously in the port of Novorossiysk. So I think it's time for the Ukrainian military to consider this ship truly. Now, let's turn to Avdiivka, where Russia is struggling to advance from both the north and the south. This is why they've moved some forces to the village of Pervomaisk. Previously, Ukraine had regained this territory, a significant advance that happened about 3 months ago, and now the Russian army is trying to retake it back. Anton Kotsukhan, who's a spokesperson for the 110th Independent Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, reported on January 7th that the Russian military suffered significantly heavier losses at the Avdiivka front compared to the battle for Bakhmut. According to him, thousands of Russian soldiers have been killed or wounded and are no longer able to participate in the conflict, in addition to hundreds of units of armored vehicles being damaged. The Russian forces also lost more than 200 tanks, not to mention other armed vehicles near Avdiivka. The situation at the Avdiivka front remains consistently challenging, but under control. Ukrainian military personnel noted that after a brief period of relative calm, The fighting has intensified, with the Russians conducting larger scale attacks and occasionally even deploying armored vehicles, added the spokesperson of the 110th Independent Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Now, moving down to the south to the village of Robotyne, Ukraine surely still controls this village. Robotner remains the greatest achievement of the Ukrainian army in this region. There are rumors that Russian special forces have encountered many difficulties here, suffering heavy losses. I believe this information is entirely accurate based on Russia's overall losses. The battles here have been fierce. For example, 3 days ago, we received information from the Ukrainian command that the Ukrainian army was moving towards Verbov, but there has been no confirmation of a counteroffensive. Therefore, I'd say that the situation near the village of Verbov at least remains stable. Unfortunately, we have suffered a significant loss in the Ukrainian Air Force. A MiG-29 pilot has lost his life. His call sign was Blue Helmet. From this picture, you can see we have lost both the pilot and the aircraft. This is war, so the losses are terrible, and it's miraculous that Ukraine still even possesses an air force capable of countering the Russian military, because Russia has absolute air superiority over Ukraine. Our military does not have advanced aircraft like Russia, plus they have more aircraft, but they still cannot achieve air superiority over Ukrainian airspace. Hopefully, we can soon review new F-16 fighter jets, and in that case, the Ukrainian military might even be able to restart counteroffensive operations. But it seems that U.S. lawmakers are about to approve a military support deal for Ukraine. According to the Washington Post, they appear to have agreed on the internal budget of the United States for the entire year of 2024, including key social security and domestic programs. I believe immigration reform or border control reform is also part of this package. However, I'm not exactly sure what changes the Republican Party wants to make, as no specific program has been announced or a detailed list of demands. Many military experts think that Ukraine could use F-16s to achieve previously planned objectives, for example, advancing towards Crimea, and I partially agree with this. But I don't think Ukraine will choose the previous direction of assault. In my opinion, Ukraine might cross the Dnieper River with significant forces under the cover of F-16 air support and advance towards Crimea. At least there is a possibility of that. German inspectors visited a repair facility in Lithuania where Ukrainian tanks are being repaired, and they commented on the very poor conditions of these German-made tanks. They noted that this type of tank wears out very quickly under real combat conditions. And a particular weakness of the Leopard is its fragile tracks. And neglecting these aspects can lead to breakdowns. For example, this is the second time the Leopard tanks, specifically Leopard 2, have been used under real combat conditions and the first time in this full-scale war. Therefore, this is a good opportunity to identify and address any weaknesses in their design. And I still believe that Leopard 2 tanks are powerful machines and provide significant assistance to the Ukrainian military. Next, we have interesting information about a strange coincidence. Viktor Orban might lead the European Council for 6 long months if Charles Michel resigns. Now, why is that? It's because Hungary holds the 6-month presidency of the Council this year, and this is standard procedure. Every EU member state gets a chance to hold the presidency at some point. So, this time it's Hungary's turn, and Viktor Orban is definitely capable of leading the European Council. Of course, it's only temporary, but he might do everything to block all Ukrainian initiatives in the Council. That scenario, an unchecked Orban ruling the Council for 6 months right after the European elections in 2024, is something that the other 26 EU country leaders will try to avoid, given that the escalating tensions between them and Orban, the Union's support for Ukraine, and Hungary's violation of the rule of law. You know Orban, we should not expect any different moves from him. Regarding some international news now, U.S. intelligence says that China has been filling their ballistic missiles with water instead of rocket fuel due to corruption in the Chinese military. Honestly, that's hard to believe, knowing how important the military is to Xi Jinping. While corruption might exist, the idea of using water instead of rocket fuel seems a little far-fetched. I don't think all Chinese missiles are filled with water. They have a strong military, and we should consider that truly. It's better not to underestimate the enemy. We have news that the northern part of the Gaza Strip is entirely under the control of the IDF, and they have another goal to advance in the southern part. The operation there is currently quite successful for IDF, and I believe that by February, they'll control the entire Gaza Strip. Our video for today comes to an end here. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to support the channel. As always, thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in our upcoming video.